6 indictees who were indicted for the alleged crimes as in the period that this court had a mandate to do. So it was basically 98 and 99 up to 2000. And we have seen that one case, Salih Mustafa case, has been completely finalized and finished. Shala's case has been in process to be finalized. But the most important one, Thaçin et al. Case, that covers 4 senior UÇK, Kosovo Liberation Army leaders, has not been finalized as of yet. These people are in the court in the Hague since 2000. So the case, their case is going to be finished sometime in 2026, but only with the first instance judgment. So the first important evaluation of the efficiency of this court is that it hasn't been that efficient. It has only 6 indictees, and from these 6 indictees, for the major 4 people, we still do not have even first instance judgment, let alone none of 4 indictees in Thaçin et al. Trial were allowed to go on provisional release, even not on compassionate leave, as it is called. Compassionate leave is when an indictee or defendant who is under criminal prosecution and trial would be allowed to go to visit their family members in problem, especially ailing parents or funerals of the closest members of the family. So it has been quite harsh treatment by the court of the indictees. And so this compassionate leave seems quite appropriate for the people at the leadership level these 4 indictees had, and I'm talking obviously about Hashim Thaçin and his and a refusal for him to attend some very important family occasions. So this compassionate leave is also the part of something which we call fair trial, that anyone who stands a criminal trial is not guilty until proved beyond reasonable doubt. And they were not treated with this deserved compassion, because the prosecution always could use the argument that they are actually a risk for the trial and fairness of the trial because of their potential to intimidate the witnesses. So this intimidation of witnesses narrative basically trumped and took over all other components that a defendant, according to modern human rights law, should enjoy. And one of these obviously has to do with when and under which circumstances you would be allowed to be released from the prison while awaiting the judgment. Another major issue, obviously, is the treatment and access to evidence at the court that mostly came from the archives of State of Serbia. And this is a quite interesting approach by the prosecution, because Serbia is not a neutral party in this whole proceedings, and prosecution should and had to be very careful by relying on the evidence coming from Serbian state archives. And when I say state archives, then I mean state security archives, police archives, Ministry of Interior archives, and obviously the military archives. So these are the issues that totally and very much influenced the way the prosecutor were dealing with this trial. But yet, until we have the first judgment, we cannot say how did it play out. If in the case that all 4 defendants would be released, then obviously looking back into these procedural issues would be very soon forgotten. But in the case that any of the 4 defendants would be found guilty based on the evidence that was coming or was handed over by Serbia, would be under scrutiny. But hopefully in that case, we will still have the appeal case to wait to see how it would happen and what would be the final appeal judgment.